What's up everyone? Chill Critic here, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving into Young Justice Season 2. So sit back and enjoy. Spoilers ahead. Young Justice Season 2, which is called Invasion, is a masterclass in evolving both plot and character arcs while continuing to explore the complex world of young superheroes. After the conclusion of Season 1, which saw the team forming a close-knit unit and facing off against villains like Lex Luthor and the like, while Season 2 takes a bold step forward dealing with larger threats and diving into deeper, more personal stories for each character. Does it still capture the essence of what made Season 1 so beloved? Let's explore. Season 2 jumps forward 5 years, and we see the team's results from the first season. A new team, including many new faces, has emerged. But with the Justice League now more prominent in the world stage, the focus shifts to a global level, introducing even greater enemies. The first few episodes does a good job intruding us to new characters, and some returning. Like Robin, who changes his name to Nightwing. He grew up the most, evolving from a 13-year-old with a lot to learn to the team leader at the age of 19. In his place is a young protege to Batman named Tim Drake, or Robin. Log on as Lagoon Boy, as their aquatic member. Jaime Reyes, who is a valuable addition to this season as he is Blue Beetle. Barbara Gordon is Batgirl, another of Batman's protege. Garfield Logan as Beast Boy, who is a return character from Season 1, who gets his powers from a blood transfusion from Miss Martian. Cassandra Sandsmark, who is Wonder Girl, a side character in Bumblebee. And finally Impulse, who is from the future and is introduced episodes in, and is the grandson to Barry Allen, the Flash. We see Artemis and Kid Flash retire from the life of crime fighting to enjoy a life together, and Aqualad's fall to the enemy as he learns about his true heritage. Finally, we see Superboy and Miss Martian remain on the team to stay out of the world spotlight. This season explores the idea of invasions, both literal and metaphorical. The Reach, the team's newest enemy, is relentless and invasive in its quest for dominance, and its plot related to this season's invasion of privacy, trust, and control that our heroes face personally. It's a classic story of the heroes growing into their roles and tackling threats on a far grander scale. But the emotional stakes are high because it's not just about defeating a villain. It's about ensuring that the next generation of heroes is strong enough to face these new, world-altering threats. Season 2 of Young Justice excels at exploring themes of trust, betrayal, and the blurry line between right and wrong. The Reach's manipulation and their attempt to use Earth's heroes as pawns in a larger galactic scheme mirrors the team's own struggles with trust. Whether it's Dick Grayson questioning his leadership abilities, Wally West dealing with the idea of growing up, or Aqualad grappling with his dual loyalty to both the team and his secret past, each character faces an invasion of their own beliefs and values. One of the standout features of Young Justice Season 2 is the intense character development across the board. While the first season was focused largely on Robin/Nightwing, Kid Flash, and Artemis, Season 2 does a remarkable job of shifting the spotlight to a wider array of characters, all while retaining the emotional depth and complexity that made Season 1 so compelling. Nightwing, or Dick Grayson's transition from Robin to Nightwing, is perhaps the most prominent change for a central character. Dick Grayson's growth into a leader is fascinating. He faces new challenges as the leader of the team, struggling with the decisions that come with that responsibility. What's great about this portrayal is that it doesn't shy away from his internal conflict. Nightwing isn't the perfect leader, as he makes mistakes throughout the season, and his personal struggles add layers to his character, particularly his separation from his old mentor, Batman. Aqualad, or Kaldar's arc, is a huge shock for first-time watchers. Season 2 dives into his loyalties and his personal challenges, especially his internal conflict over what he has to do to gain his father's trust to prove he's a villain. Aqualad's mission is to use his bloodline to infiltrate the light and find out anything and everything he can and turn it over to our heroes. Yet only Nightwing knows his true mission. Artemis, or Tigress, has a quieter but extremely strong arc. Her decision to leave the team and live a life in peace, only to return and reclaim her role, speaks volumes about her character's complexity. She struggles with issues of family, identity, and trust, making her return a moment of personal triumph. In her return from retirement, She goes up against Aqualad and loses her life in the process, only to return as Aqualad's accomplice to infiltrate the light. Kid Flash, or Wally West's journey in this season, is one of maturity. While Season 1 presented him as a jokester and a wild card, in Season 2, Wally begins to face more serious challenges, both emotionally and physically. His relationships are tested, especially his bond with Artemis, as she takes this mission to fake her death and go undercover as Tigress, effectively making it so they can't see each other for months. Superboy or Connor Kent's arc explores themes of identity and purpose. As a clone, Connor constantly struggles with the idea of who he is outside of Superman's shadow. His journey towards understanding his value and his own emotions provides some of the most touching moments of the season. His relationship with M'Gann at the start of the season is intense, as we see she is with Logon, and we want to know what happened. Throughout the season, we learn Miss Martian tried to tamper with his mind, and he found out and had to break their relationship off. Throughout the season, though, their relationship reconnects, as Miss Martian realizes her destructive behavior and tries to right her past mistakes, creating a dynamic that is both sweet and full of regret. M'Gann or Miss Martian's arc expands beyond her relationship with Logon or Connor. She grapples with her Martian heritage and the intense pressure of being the one who carries the weight of her people's legacy. Her sister-like relationship with Beast Boy is a pivotal part of her growth, and her part as life is also huge. If Megan never betrayed Queen Bee in Season 1, Beast Boy's mother never would have died. Something to think on. Now her realization that she's using Logan as a rebound from Connor and that he will back her play, no matter if it's a good or bad play, is a huge part of her realizing he's not good for her, and she breaks up with him. Her conflict with her actions, like brain blasting Aqualad, and her sense of guilt because of this is a compelling arc and adds an emotional layer to her character. Throughout this season, we see Impulse watching Blue Beetle, because the future he comes from, Blue Beetle controls the world for the Reach. Now to the story. Because of Miss Martian brain blasting Aqualad, she is afraid to use her powers and doesn't do a good job vetting a new teammate, which gives their enemies an advantage, and the Reach infiltrates their team with Green Beetle. Later in the series, we see the Light take Miss Martian to try and put his brain together again, which is also a very strong and powerful story arc about righting your mistakes. Several episodes later, we see that Aqualad has been put back together by Miss Martian with the help of Artemis. Due to a stroke of luck, Artemis' father, Sportsmaster, and sister, Cheshire, attack Black Manta's ship, and with some convincing, they realize Artemis is alive, and they free Miss Martian. Green Beetle is a Martian with a scarab who supposedly reboots Blue Beetle's scarab to give him full control, but he actually forces the scarab back under the Reach's control. The Reach is an alien race with an imperialist agenda, and they present a fascinating antagonist to our young heroes. They aren't just a physical threat, they are a cultural and psychological one. Their manipulations, from offering technology to countries in exchange for humans to test on, make them a more insidious presence than most comic book villains. What's also interesting is the way their long-term plans are slowly revealed, keeping the audience on their toes. Their mission is to use the humans as test subjects because human DNA has a unique ability to produce superhuman powers. With Blue Beetle now under their control, they can use his face as a face of trust and public relations with humans. A few episodes later, though, our heroes set a trap that successfully frees the Blue and Green Beetles from Reach control. One of the final arcs of this season shows us Aqualad's betrayal of the Light and the Reach. He shows each side videos of each group betraying the other. This move puts both the Light and the Reach in the world spotlight. Our heroes take advantage of this moment and attack both groups at once to try and end this once and for all. In the season finale, the Reach make one final desperate attempt to terraform the Earth and wipe out the human population. They use these beetle drones to build up enough energy to go nuclear and wipe humanity off the face of the Earth. Eventually, our heroes save the day, but not without a costly sacrifice. Wally and Artemis' last moments together was one of the most impactful scenes in this series, as Wally has to make the ultimate sacrifice to save the world. This scene had me crying. The action sequences in Season 2 are top-notch. From the battles, whether it's the team's coordinated attacks against the Reach soldiers or one-on-one confrontations with high-powered villains, It's some of the best animated superhero action you can find. The pacing, however, is what keeps the audience on edge. There are moments of high tension, followed by quieter moments where character relationships are explored. It trusts the audience to understand the stakes and follow the shifting relationships without unnecessary handholding, which is one thing I love about a show. One of the greatest strengths of Young Justice Season 2 is how it turns the tables on the heroes and their notion of victory. With the Light's involvement and the ongoing mystery behind the true scope of the Reach's plans, Season 2 keeps us guessing, even as it showcases the development of its characters. Young Justice Season 2 takes everything that made the first season great and expand upon it. The character arcs are deep and fulfilling, and the action sequences are well executed. The plot, while more intricate, is rewarding for those willing to pay attention to the nuances. With strong themes of trust, responsibility, and personal growth, this season cements Young Justice as one of the best animated superhero shows out there. Whether you're a fan of the DC Universe or a newcomer to the series, Invasion offers a compelling, emotional, and action-packed narrative that will leave you wanting more. The stakes are higher, the conflicts more personal, and the payoff is worth every moment. I rate this season a 9.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. See you next time.